Hi guys, good morning. We are discussing about digestive system. The digestive system having two parts, alimentary canal and the digestive glands. We have completed alimentary canal as well as digestive glands also. In the previous class, we have started about physiology of digestion, means the process of digestion. The process of digestion mainly completed in three locations. One is buccal cavity, two stomach, third one is intestine. In the previous class, we have completed the process of digestion in buccal cavity as well as in the stomach. Today's class, we are going to discuss about the process of digestion in a small intestine. Come on, please. The process of digestion takes place in buccal cavity, stomach and small intestine. Already we have finished buccal cavity as well as stomach also. Today's class we are going to discuss about the process of digestion in small intestine. In the small intestine, basically four types of food substances can be digested. They are, please back. Proteins, fats, carbohydrates and nucleic acids. Four types of food particles can be digested in the small intestine. Whereas the buccal cavity, only carbohydrates digested. No proteins, no fats. Whereas in the stomach, only proteins are digested, no carbohydrates, very small amounts of the fats are digested. But whereas in the small intestine, you can see all four varieties of food can be digested like proteins, fats, carbohydrates as well as nucleic acids also. Okay. Let us have a detailed account of process of digestion in the small intestine. Please. In the small intestine, the bile juice from the liver, pancreatic juice from the pancreas reaches into the duodenum through hepatopancreatic duct. Whereas succus entericus also known as intestinal juice is secreted by the crypts of Leberkun of walls of small intestine. Like that, three categories of juices are released into the small intestine. They are bile juice, pancreatic juice and succus entericus or intestinal juice. All these three juices thoroughly mix with the food by some muscular movements performed by the walls of the intestine. By certain movements of the walls of intestine, all these three juices thoroughly mix with the food and taking part of process of digestion. Next, we have to discuss about role of mucus in the small intestine. The mucus. Mainly the mucus is secreted from Brunner glands of submucosa in duodenum. In duodenum, Brunner glands are there from submucosa. They secrete mucus. As well as in the walls of the small intestine, mucosa layer is having goblet cells. The goblet cells also secreting certain amount of the mucus. Okay. The mucus from the goblet cells as well as the Brunner glands protecting the walls of the small intestine from its acidity. Because from the stomach, food is enters into the duodenum with acidic nature. The acidic food is called as chyme. The acidic food may damage the walls of the small intestine. So, to protect the walls of the intestine, from the acidity, the walls of the intestines are lined with mucus. Okay guys, please. Next we are discussing about bicarbonates. the bicarbonates also released into the small intestine. Some amount of the bicarbonates are released from the anterior limb of duodenum, as well as bicarbonates also released from the pancreas. Like that, bicarbonates released into the small intestine. These bicarbonates are neutralizing the food. Actually, chyme is acidic in the nature. The acidic food is neutralized first of all. Then it is converted into alkaline condition with pH value 7.8. In the small intestine, the pH value is 7.8. Means the pancreatic juice as well as intestinal juice very active in the alkaline conditions only. Means in the small intestine, the process of the digestion is completed in alkaline condition only. Catch my point? In the buccal cavity, the process of digestion in acidic condition. In the stomach also, the process of digestion is in acidic condition. Whereas in the small intestine, the process of digestion is completed in alkaline condition with pH value 7.8. Come on, next. Next, we are entering into the process of digestion. In the process of digestion in the small intestine, a large process with proteins. That's why we discuss the process of digestion in the proteins in small intestine. Okay guys, the process of digestion of proteins in a small intestine. In the small intestine, various categories of enzymes are present which are participating in the digestion of proteins. That enzymes are trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, procarboxypeptidase. All these three enzymes are inactive, are also called proenzymes, are secreted by the pancreas. They are from the pancreatic juice. Next level of examination, enzymes are aminopeptidase, tripeptidase, dipeptidase. All these three enzymes are present in the succus entericus, means in the intestinal juice. As well as enterokinase, the last enzyme. This enzyme not directly participating in the process of digestion, but it is an enzyme activator. This is helping in the activation of the proenzymes. This is helping in the activation of the proenzymes. Come again please, you guys. We are discussing about the digestion of the proteins. In the digestion of the proteins, various categories of enzymes are present in the small intestine. In that first one are trypsinogen, chymotrypsinogen, procarboxypeptidase. All these three are inactive or proenzymes which are secreted from the pancreas. Afterwards, aminopeptidase, tripeptidase, dipeptidase are the enzymes which are from the intestinal juice. The next enzyme is enterokinase. Enterokinase is not having direct role in the process of digestion of the proteins, but it is called as enzyme activator. This enterokinase will activate trypsinogen into trypsin. It is only enzyme activator. Like that, various enzymes are having various sources into the small intestine. Right? Have a glance, please. Come on, next. Next, how the enzymes are getting activated, we are discussing. trypsinogen. Trypsinogen is an inactive enzyme. By the action of enterokinase, it becomes trypsin. Trypsin is an active enzyme. Trypsinogen converts into trypsin by the action of enterokinase. Right, guys? Afterwards, the trypsin itself activating the trypsinogen into trypsin. Trypsinogen activated into trypsin by the action of trypsin only. This process is called autocatalysis. Autocatalysis means self-activation. The first activation is initiated by the enterokinase. Later on, the remaining processes or activation processes are mediated by the trypsin only. So, this process is called autocatalysis. Here, chymotrypsinogen is converted into chymotrypsin by the action of trypsin. Procarboxypeptidase converted into carboxypeptidase by the action of trypsin. Means here all these activation processes are mediated by the trypsin only. So it is called autocatalyst. Autocatalyst. All these are active enzymes. Trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase are active enzymes. They are ready to act upon the proteins. Okay, guys, please have a glance. Come on, next, please. Next, how the enzymes are acting. Suppose the food source, proteins, proteases, peptones. Proteins means directly proteins which are present in the food. But proteases, peptones, they are partially digested proteins. These partially digested proteins came from the stomach. Because in the stomach only the process of the proteins digestion is initiated. There in the stomach, proteins are converted into proteases and peptones. So that proteases, peptones as well as the remaining amount of the proteins are digested into tripeptides and dipeptides. Tripeptides and dipeptides. By the action of trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase, all these three enzymes are from the pancreatic juice. Aminopeptidase is from the intestinal juice. All these four enzymes are acting on the proteins, proteases, peptones, converts into tripeptides and dipeptides. Okay, guys? Please have a look. Next. On tripeptides. Why it is called tripeptide? Okay, two amino acids together called as dipeptides, three amino acids together called as tripeptides, many amino acids together forming a chain is called polypeptide. Means the polypeptide chains are break down into small units with three amino acids and two amino acids. They are called as tripeptides and dipeptides. Okay, guys? Right. On the tripeptides, tripeptidases are acting. Tripeptidase is sounding enzyme. Okay? Tripeptidase acting on tripeptides, converting them into dipeptides and amino acids. You got this dipeptides, means 2 amino acids. Amino acid, this is third one. Total 3 amino acids, it is called tripeptide. So tripeptide is breakdown into 2 amino acids dipeptides as well as a single amino acid. In the last process of digestion in the proteins, the dipeptides are converted into 2 amino acids by the action of dipeptidase. Dipeptidase acting on dipeptides, making them into 2 amino acids. So here amino acids are end products of the proteins. Amino acids are end products of the proteins which are soluble in the water. When they are soluble in the water, they can easily absorb into the blood. That is about end products of amino acids. Have a glance, please. Next, please. Next, we are going to discuss about digestion of fats. Already proteins digestion in small intestine completed. Now we are going to discuss about digestion of fats. Here in the digestion of fats, the enzymes directly cannot act upon the fats because fats are very hard to the enzymes. So before process of digestion of the fats, they get some chemical process. Let us discuss what that process is. The bile salts in the bile, helping in the emulsification of the fats. Bile salts in the bile. Bile salts means sodium, potassium, glycoterocholates. They are helping in emulsification of fats. What is emulsification? Emulsification means the hardest or the largest fat molecules can be break down into small micelles. The small pieces of the fats are called as, round pieces are called as micelles. Means the bile salts making the fats into small micelles. That phenomenon is technically called as emulsification of the fats. Okay. Afterwards, bile also activates lipases of the pancreatic juice as well as intestinal juice also. The pancreatic juice lipase is called as steatocin. So, the bile is playing two roles. One is emulsification of the fats as well as activation of the lipases also. Here what happens, the fats are with the help of the bile salts taking emulsification of the fats. These emulsified fats by the action of the lipase converted into diglycerides and fatty acids. Diglycerides and fatty acids means the fats are technically triglycerides. Triglycerides means with 3 fatty acids. So it is a breakdown into diglycerides and fatty acids by the action of lipase in the small intestine. This is the first action. Have a look, please. Right, next please. Next we we are discussing about diglycerides. Means it is indication of glycerol with two fatty acids. By the action of same lipase, it is converted into monoglyceride and fatty acid. Monoglyceride and fatty acid. Here monoglyceride, by the action of lipase, it is split into fatty acids and glycerol. So, in the digestion of the fats, what are the end products means? The end products are fatty acids. So here in all these equations, in every level you can see monomers of the fats, they are called fatty acids. So the process of the fats completely digested into fatty acids. Okay. The fatty acids cannot be absorbed into the blood. They can be absorbed into the lymphatic system through separate ducts are called lacteals. Okay guys? Right? Have a look please. Okay. Now we are discussing about the digestion of carbohydrates in the small intestine. Already we have completed proteins, fats. Now we are discussing about the digestion of carbohydrates. In the digestion of carbohydrates, some process of digestion is initiated in buccal cavity only. In the buccal cavity only because of the salivary amylase, some process, nearly 30% of the carbohydrates are digested in the buccal cavity. The rest of the process takes place in the small intestine. The enzymes which are joining in the digestion of the carbohydrates means the amylase. The amylase which is from the pancreatic juice. You must remember two amylases. Salivary amylase, pancreatic amylase. Two different. Okay. Salivary amylase digesting 30% of the carbohydrates. Pancreatic amylase digesting 70% of the carbohydrates. Catch my point, I think. Next, remaining enzymes are maltase, sucrase, lactase. Here, sucrase also called as invertase. Invertase. All these three enzymes are called as disaccharidases. What they are called? Disaccharidases from the small intestine. They are present in intestinal juice. They are called disaccharidases because they act upon disaccharides. What are the disaccharides? Maltose, sucrose, lactose are disaccharides. So these enzymes are present on disaccharides. That's why these are called as disaccharadases, which are secreted from the intestinal juice. Okay, right. Here in the process of the digestion, in the process of the digestion already we have discussed here carbohydrate 70% because 30% of the digestion is completed in the buccal cavity into maltose. The remaining 70% of the carbohydrates by the action of pancreatic amylase converted into maltose, sucrose, lactose. All these three are called as disaccharides. Disaccharides means they are made up of two monosaccharides. That's why they are called as disaccharides. Okay? Take a look, please. Next, please. Next slide. maltose, sucrose, lactose, ose sounding sugar. By the action of maltase, maltose is breakdown into glucose and glucose. Okay, glucose is a monosaccharide. So two glucose molecules are there in the maltose, so it is called disaccharide. Remember my guys, maltose is disaccharide made up of two monosaccharides. They are glucose and glucose. By the action of maltase, it is converted into glucose and glucose. Right guys? Next, by the action of sucrase, the sucrose is breakdown into glucose and fructose. Glucose is a monosaccharide, fructose is a monosaccharide. Two monosaccharides are sucrose disaccharide. Okay? The disaccharide sucrose is converted into glucose and fructose by the action of sucrase. Sucrase is an enzyme. Right? Next, finally, the lactase. The lactase is acting on lactose, making them into glucose and galactose. This is a disaccharide. This is a monosaccharide. So each disaccharide is breakdown into two monosaccharides. Means maltose is made up of two glucose molecules. Sucrose is made up of glucose and fructose. Lactose is made up of glucose and galactose. That's why all they are called as disaccharides. These are monosaccharides. Means all these are end products in the process of digestion of carbohydrates. Means the process of the carbohydrates is finished when they are modified into end products like glucose, fructose and galactose. They are easily soluble in the water. After soluble in the water, they can easily absorbed into the blood circulation. Okay guys, have a look please. Come on, next please. Next we are discussing about the last process of digestion in nucleic acids. Okay. In the nucleic acids, mostly familiar nucleic acids are DNA and RNA. Whatever you take in the food, you can see nucleus. In the nucleus, most commonly you can see the DNA as well as RNA also. They are called nucleic acids. The nucleic acids also participating in the process of the digestion. In that, which enzymes are participating? DNase means digesting the DNA. RNase, which is digesting RNA. These two are called as nucleases because they are digesting the nucleic acids. That's why they are called as nucleases, which are from the pancreatic juice. After that, nucleotidase, nucleosidase. These two enzymes are secreted from the intestine, which are present in the intestinal juice. Means the enzymes which are digesting the nucleic acids are DNase and RNase are coming from the pancreatic juice. Nucleotidase, nucleosidase are coming from the walls of the small intestine. All these four enzymes are acting upon the nucleic acids. Okay guys? Okay. Okay, next please. Here DNA. by the action of DNA is break down into nucleotides. RNA is acts on RNA, break down into nucleotides. Means DNA is acting on DNA, RNA is acting on RNA. By the action of these enzymes, DNA as well as RNA is a breakdown into a single units, monomers. They are called nucleotides. Nucleotides. Nucleotidase, an enzyme which is acting on the nucleotides is called as nucleotidase. Is an enzyme acting on nucleotides. Break down into nucleoside and phosphate group. Nucleoside and phosphate group. Nucleosidase, which is acting on nucleoside. Nucleosidase, which is acting on nucleoside and break down into pentose sugar and nitrogen bases. So here the end products of the nucleic acids are pentose sugar, nitrogen bases and phosphates. So this is the process of DNA and RNA. Come again guys. DNA is breaking the DNA into nucleotides. RNA is breaking the RNA into nucleotides. Nucleotidase breaking the nucleotides into nucleoside and phosphate group. Nucleosidase breaking the nucleoside into pentose sugar and nitrogen bases. All these are end products of the digestion of nucleic acids. Okay guys, have a look please. Okay guys, please. The process of digestion is completed in the small intestine. Means the process of digestion is completed in proteins by formation of amino acids. The process of the carbohydrates digestion is completed by formation of glucose, fructose and galactose. As well as the process of the fats digestion is completed by the formation of the fatty acids. The process of digestion of nucleic acids also completed by formation of pentose sugar, nitrogen bases and phosphate groups. Okay, all these are end products.